Good morning. Today we asking the question, how do we know the bear market is over and the bull market is starting? So today I want to feature a video of Steve by Crypto Crew University, and he's going to show us on his indicators how you would do that. But luckily today I have an analyst, Dion, here with us, and he's just going to show us some of the indicators that he looks at when he determines whether we're still in a bear market or have we switched over into bull market territory. Dion, how would you determine if we are still in a bear market or have we turned?
We haven't 100% turned, so there are very few indicators that are that positive that would show that we turned and that the bottom is actually in. So this is just on the weekly chart, the 50 and the 200. So you can see that the 200 is basically bottoming out and starting to go horizontal. So as soon as that happens, then price could more easily then cross it. So we've tried once to break the 200, we couldn't hold it. So that's the first thing that we would have to break, is on the weekly break this 200 EMA. Also the 50 is still sloping down quite sharply, so that's a bit concerning. So that would have to break first. The other thing that we can look at is this EMA ribbon. So normally when the ribbon flips, we're in for some upside, and as when it widens like that or steeply climbs, that's when it would go in a certain direction. So that's the only good thing with the ribbon, is that you can see that it's also starting to, all these lines are starting to bottom out and go more horizontal. So as soon as that happens, like was happening here as well, we'll start to break into that zones and eventually break through and flip it. So also on the weekly, until it's flipped, one can't really say that we're out of the bear. So it's slowly, gradually pointing in that direction, but nothing really 100%. The only other thing also we could look at is that rainbow chart. So this is a very, very good indicator. So it takes the entire history of Bitcoin and maps it out and shows all the blue areas were the great buying opportunities, and the bottom of the bear markets. You can see that whole area there, and then there, and where we are at the moment. We can just zoom in there, so you can see we've broken into that area. So until we start breaking up into these green areas, also we're definitely still in the bear market. So we would expect to break into the second and third level, and from there on we would start climbing up. Yeah, that's kind of a few things that we can look at, Joseph.
Yeah, that gives you a very good indication that we are still in a bear market, but also if you see how the market is kind of consolidating right now, it also gives us an indication that we might be close to the bottom and it's starting to turn, so that's positive. So, a lot of people that are buying for the long term are starting to buy around right now on each one of those dips, because, it's fallen most of the distance. Is going to fall. It might fall a little bit more, but if you buy right now, you get a pretty good price for the coins. Okay, so let's jump over and listen to Steve as he gives us his perspective.
Step number one is this chart right here. We've got the stochastic RSI at the bottom. We're on the monthly chart, and our stochastic RSI is our momentum. As soon as our momentum falls below this 20 level, usually it takes several hundred days to recover. We look at the 2015 market, it took 579 days to recover. The next one took about 400 days to recover, and so far we're just 273 days in, right? What you need to see with step number one is the stochastic RSI, our momentum, has to get above this 20 level. Every time it's done that in the past, look at when it did that here after about 600 days. Price was just here, still at a standstill, still moving sideways. Everybody thought we were going a lot lower, but that's when the bull run started. That's when people started to celebrate. People who really understood the charts were literally drooling at this opportunity right in front of them, because that's when the bull run starts, right when we get back above this 20 level. Fast forward to 2018, we have 400 days of just dreadfulness and fear and agony. And as soon as we popped our heads above this 20 level, that's when the bull market started. That's when we started celebrating. Green candle, green candle, green candle, green candle. And it just moved so quickly. okay? In a blink of an eye, price moves so quickly, but that's our time to celebrate. And that's what we're looking for here. And just judging by the days, judging by where we're at, you know, we still got several months before we can even start to celebrate. It's at least several months according to this chart. Let's look at step number 2. So step number 1, we've got to have a yes here, along with a yes for step number 2 and a yes for step number 3. But step number 1, we have got to get these lines above here. Not close yet. Step number 2, we've got this chart I showed you in an earlier video. What we simply need is for this line to change to green. It's been red for a long time, and you can see in our bear markets past, it's red for a long time, but as soon as it turns green, that's when we can celebrate. That's when the turmoil is over. This indicator has never had a false signal. You can get it for free. It's super cool. We've got it on the 2-month chart because it's so clean. But as soon as we change to green, that's when the bull run starts. And we don't panic until it changes to red again. It's that simple. So as soon as it changes from red to green, it did so right here. That's when we can start celebrating that the turmoil and the bloodbath is over. You can see when it changed to green here, and you can see recently when it changed to green, we were at roughly 7,000-ish in price, and then we went to about 70,000. So it's been red for quite some time. We need this one for step number 2 to be green. Is it green yet? Not yet, but it could be getting close. Make sure you watch that video I posted. But that's step number 2. Step number 3 is this chart, the MACD. Every single bear market, we have a MACD cross on this time frame, the 12-day time frame. And you may say, well, why don't we use the 2-week? We can use the 2-week. You'll just get the signal a lot later. The 2-week in this chart gives the same signals. There's 5 of them. But this one just gives it faster with no false signals. So I give you the best of the best on this channel, which is why you just subscribed. But each bear market, we have this little teeny MACD cross. Quiet. Nobody really talks about it. Nobody knows about it, but it happens every single bear market. We had one right here, and after this cross, we went up 20,000%. And then fast forward a few years, 2015, we had this MACD cross here. And as soon as we had it, went up 8,233%. Now, there's never a false signal. It's not like this MACD is crossing back down below and back above and back down below and back above and back down below. It doesn't do that. That's why I give you the best of the best. There's never a false signal. In 2018, 2019, we had this cross here earlier than the other ones, and it got a 230% rise in price, okay? The most recent one we had in our past bull run was 666%, and this was our only signal that we had outside of the bottom of the bear market. This was the only one that we had, and it still, even though it was considered a false signal, it still gained 33%, and it warned you that we were about to crash because it crashed back down through here. So we are getting close to having this cross up. Now, why is it important? If you want to know when all of this turmoil is going to be over, when this bloodbath is going to end, when can we start celebrating? When are we going to be out of the woods? We need a yes here above the 20 level. We need a yes here, change to green, and we need a yes here, a MACD cross. If all 3 of those are yeses, it's time to celebrate. And by the way, when we start to celebrate, there's still going to be a large portion of people in crypto that won't believe it. It'll still be a little bit of a stressful thing, like, is this real? Are all of those signals false? But I believe that they're going to be true. I believe that they're real. I believe that the bottom is in, and I will believe we will be celebrating by mid-year 2023 and potentially even earlier.
Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I want to encourage you, just keep good hope. Bitcoin is going to start going up at some point. And so I think there's a lot of great buying opportunities right now if you have finances available. But if you want to play it safe, wait for all of these indicators to cross, and then you can start buying. Have a fantastic day and a weekend. Dion, thank you for your analysis. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy your break, Joseph, next week. Yeah, so we'll see you guys in a week. Cheers.